Today I'm reviewing the Petri V2 Special Edition. Hi guys, today I'm reviewing the Petri V2 Special Edition Dripper. This was very kindly sent to me by DotMod themselves for the purpose of review. What I can tell you about it straight off, a couple of things. Well, it's not so much about the dripper itself, but more about a previous review. Now, in a previous review, you saw me review the DotMod Petri tank, and I claimed that the drip tip here, the drip tip here was proprietary, and you couldn't fit a standard 510 drip tip to it. Now, I'm here to tell you now that I was wrong. Let me get a standard 510, and what you can do actually is you can fit a standard 510 drip tip in it. The only thing is, obviously, with the little O-rings there, it looks kind of funky. But yeah, you can actually fit your own sort of 510 drip tip into it. Alright, anyway, let's move on to the Petri V2, the Petri V2 Special Edition. So we'll go to the down view, I'll show you what it's like, and then we'll have a vape and go from there. Alrighty, let's go to the down view now. Okay, we're up close and personal with the Petri V2 Special Edition. Now, they call this a Special Edition because it's actually slightly different to the normal Petri V2. Inside, as you can see, you've got the usual gold sort of stuff, and on the underside, more information about the RDA itself and other bits. Now, they call this a Special Edition because it's slightly different to the previous ones, and they're doing some sort of thing where for every RDA bought, they're donating $5 to the vaping advocacy campaign, the Right to Vape campaign in America. You get your little bottle, and that contains the RDA. I've already popped that out, as you can see. In the bottom of the bottle, you get your spare O-rings and stuff like that. And it's the usual same DotMod design with the little cork in the top and whatnot. You also get a little Allen key for doing your Allen head grub screws, and you get 3 different types of drip tip. You take this bit out, and in the bottom you get your certificate of authenticity. So let's have a look at the RDA itself up close. Give me 2 secs. Okay, here we are up close and personal with the RDA itself. So you get your standard, you get your proprietary drip tip. You can of course fit a standard 510 in the end, like so, but obviously it looks a bit funky with those O-rings in place. The other constituent parts to this are the top cap, which as you can see on the inside is conical rather than flat, which apparently increases flavour. Just put that tip back on there. Then you've got the, let me just put it on here and pull that off. O-rings are nice and tight on there. Whoop, there we go. And this is the barrel itself. This is the main body of it. As you can see, 3 airflow holes on there, and they're about 2mm each air hole, and there's 3 of them in a triangular shape. Alright, and then you've got the DotMod logo etched in the front there. Inside you have a little ridge, as you can probably see. There's a little ridge in there, and that stops the deck from going any further than it should be, to line it up with the air holes. So let me just put that cap back on there, put that to one side. Now here's the deck itself. As you can see, it uses Phillips head screws, but these are also manoeuvrable by using your fingers, except, there we go. So as you can see, you can move those with your fingers. Okay, so I've taken the coils out now, and as you can see, there's 2 grub screws in the sides. Let me just show you right up close. There's 2 grub screws in the sides, and then you've got these little screws on top. Now, as you might be able to see on the front there, you have 2 large post holes. They're about 3mm. Large post holes there for your Clapton builds, your alien wire and all that sort of thing. And then you've got 2 little holes on each side that are closed and opened by these grub screws, by these Phillips head screws at the top. And they basically allow you to use normal single strand wire builds without having to worry about these massive post holes. So there's both options there. I personally don't understand it. I don't understand why they've put so many post holes in the post. Just, you know, 4 holes either side, 2 holes either side would have done the job absolutely fine. A nice straight up velocity design. The problem being that this overcomplicates things so much with all different post holes for different size wires. So yeah, bit overcomplicated on the old post holes, but other than that, pretty good. Deck is peak insulated and it's quite big. I've put a couple of Claptons in here with no problem, and that stops obviously any kind of leaking through the 510, and it also means it's fully insulated, which is good. Standard standard 510 pin connection, which is adjustable, and this one's gold plated, and as it says on the bottom, Petri V2. Yeah, Petri V2. Hold on, I'm finding it hard to show you without getting the light. And it's also got my serial number on there as well. So yeah, that is pretty much the dripper in all its entirety. I tell you what, I'm going to throw a build in this quick, and then we'll go up to the up view and we'll give it a vape. Alrighty, let's go to the up view now. Okay, we're back in the up view. And I've whacked a couple of Claptons in this. Hold on, I'll just show you my build. So I've whacked a couple of Claptons in this, as you can see. And they're coming out at about 85, no, that's 85 watts. They're coming out at 0.29. So I'm vaping them at 85 watts because they're Claptons and they take a little while to ramp up. Let's give it a 2. Nice. And so yeah, it's a pretty good vape. I've lined the coils up quite nicely with the air holes, which is one thing you've got to do, obviously to get the most flavour out of it. Yeah, airflow's good, nice and wide open. Flavour's pretty good. Not quite as good as my Tsunami, which I usually use because it's under coil airflow, so you get a lot better flavour. But it's not bad for a side airflow dripper. Not bad. I like the proprietary drip tip on it, nice and wide and open, and you can obviously see straight down into the deck there. Yeah, it fits flush on everything I've tried it on, and especially paired quite nicely with, if I spin it around actually, paired quite nicely with the DotMod dot box, as you can see. The logo lines up quite nicely and all that sort of thing, and I think they probably designed it that way, to be fair. Lots of airflow, lots of clouds, and quite good flavour, just not as good as my Tsunami, as I've already mentioned. Now, as much as there are a lot of pros, such as the easy to open top cap where you can drip in extra juice, these coils aren't anywhere near dry yet, so I won't be dripping just yet, but yeah, that comes off quite easily for you to drip in. I would be maybe slightly worried that might pop off or come out a bit too easy, but it's pretty good. The drip tip stays on there nice and tight. I know another reviewer mentioned that the drip tip comes off too easily. I didn't find that problem with mine. I just found that the top cap comes off quite easily. So I maybe would like it to be a little bit tighter, but not much. I think it's alright as it is. Build deck's good. The juice well, as you can see, is a decent size. It's not too big, not too small. One con I would definitely say for this is the coil holes on it, the post holes. I did have some trouble. If you screw down the top bits too far, you can block the grub screws going in. So I don't know why they went for the post design. It's very, very unique, but unfortunately, in an age of vaping where velocity type post holes are the norm and so much easier to work with, having a single post hole either side for sticking 2 lots of wiring kind of takes us backwards a bit rather than forwards. If they'd have put a straight up velocity deck on this with some nice large post holes, I'd have been massively impressed. as it stands, if you, like I said, if you screw down the top Phillips head screws too far, you can actually block the grub screws going in, and so you have to fiddle about with both. If you know, but you're not ever going to use both generally, but you have to make sure that the Phillips head screws are out. Put the grub screws, put your coils in, put the grub screws in, tighten them down, and then put the Phillips head screws down. It's all a bit fiddly. They could have gone with the standard sort of velocity design, or just left out the tiny little post holes on each deck. Just left them out entirely and just used 2 big holes. I'd have been quite happy with that. Yeah, so that's a bit of a con for me. I haven't found it leaks at all, so I'm not overfilling the deck or anything like that. But the double O-ring sort of thing here stops it leaking onto the deck, stops it leaking onto your device, and yeah. I have experienced a little bit of spit back, but that's probably down to the coils I'm using rather than the device itself. And yeah, you can buy it from the DotMod website, dotmod.net. The other major con for me, and it's the price. The fact that it's $90 is insanity. In this day and age where you can pick up a Tsunami for $30, it's quite a high amount. But then I'm led to believe that all the Petri DotMod sort of RDAs are quite highly priced anyway. They've been very prized for their flavour and gold contacts and all sorts of things like that. So the price is quite high. I'll be honest, I would not buy it outside of reviews, because the only reason I would buy it is for them to donate money to the vaping right to vape campaign over in the US. But as it stands, it's very much out of my price range when I could buy a new mod and a dripper for $90. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, $90 for a stainless steel dripper is a little bit much. If the whole thing had been plated in gold and stuff like that, that might have been able to explain the price. But as it stands, it's very pricey. And donating $5 per $90 spend to the right to vape, a lot of people complain about that. At the end of the day, DotMod don't have to donate anything to the right to vape campaign if they don't want to. So the fact that they donate $5 for every sale is good. Do I wish it was a little bit more? Yes, perhaps. You know, a little bit higher, say $10 or $20, then you know they could still quite easily cover their costs. But there's only 2,000 of them, so that's what makes it a limited edition, special edition, etc. And yeah, it's nice, but it's not $90 nice. So sorry DotMod, I know you guys are probably not going to be pleased to hear that, but I've got to be honest in my reviews. And yeah, $90 is a hell of a lot of money, and not something I would personally spend on a dripper. Maybe a dripper and box combo, I don't know, but you know, it's a lot of money. That said, it is also a nice vape. Oh, my box mod's run out of power. Got to get that charged up. Yeah. So, if you are interested in buying one of these and supporting the Right to Vape campaign, then please go to dotmod.net and you can pick up one of these for $90 from the website. Again, very highly priced, but I'm not going to say any more on that subject. I think I've said enough, really. So yeah, if you go there, buy it, and you'll be supporting the Right to Vape campaign. And DotMod have already donated something stupid like $10,000 as well to it. So they are doing good by the American public. And yeah, it's nice normal sort of size, 22mm diameter. Fits on all your 22mm devices very nicely. Fits on the end of tube mechs really nicely and all that sort of thing. So yeah. Gold plated contacts. I do wish they'd have included a BF pin, or if there was a nice BF pin that you could buy extra, because I would love to get this bottom fed for my squonking setup, because I reckon it'd be quite nice. Okay, that's it from me for this episode of Full Steam Ahead with DotMod. Thanks very much, Jared, for sending me all the DotMod products you have. Really appreciate it. Two fantastic, obviously the Dot Box and the RTA, absolutely brilliant, and the RTA is sensibly priced. But the dripper, although really nice vape, it is massively overpriced, unfortunately. But hey, 2 out of 3 ain't bad, right? So, please like, share and subscribe using the button below, and I will see you in the next episode of Full Steam Ahead. Alrighty? Okay, there's only one thing left to say, vapists, and that's toot toot, motherfuckers. Toot toot.